This headset really shocked me. I'm really surprised at actually how much I'm using it. This is DPVR's E4 headset. It's a PC VR headset that comes with some really unique features, as well as features that you already have with other headsets. But because it has some of the features from last gen headsets, I know what you guys are thinking. Because honestly, I thought the same thing. Why is anyone buying it and what is the point? So let's go over some of the features that some other headsets already have. And whether we'd call those features bad or good, I don't know. But first of all, it is not standalone. You cannot play games by itself. It needs to have a PC to run. But that sort of gives it an advantage as well. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. The second one is that it's got Fresnel lenses in. It is not Pancake. And again, you might be surprised. I was. It doesn't make that much of a difference. It does not have color pass-through. And again, I was surprised at how much I didn't miss color pass-through. It's running a very similar display to the Quest 2, which is just one display. The other thing is it doesn't have its hand tracking. And you don't need it. The majority of games don't even work with hand tracking. Even Meta's own first-party games don't work with hand tracking. So you really don't miss it. Another issue is it has a lead, but at the end of the day, it has reduced the amount of annoyance when it comes to trying to connect over Wi-Fi. And as to the length of the lead, it's pretty big.
That's what she said.
And the weight of it isn't too bad either, really. It's a similar thing with the PlayStation VR 2. It makes sort of sense why you would do a lead rather than have it wireless. There's just too many things that can technically go wrong. And if you're going to be playing like fitness games, then yes, probably not the best headset for you. But saying that, you can play Beat Saber with no problem whatsoever, and that's generally most people's go-to fitness anyways, isn't it? However, if you're going to be playing anything sat down, like racing games, it's just not going to make that much of a difference. And this is where one of the places where I think it really shines is racing or sim games. If you're really into those types of games and you just want to be able to pick up and play your games, the hassle is gone. So we've gone over the bad things. Let's go over the good things. What's great about this headset? Why do I play this so much? Why do I use it so much? When you've got all the other headsets available to you, why do you keep going back to this one? And I kind of sat there for a while thinking, why am I actually using this headset? And you might be thinking, well, why are you even reviewing it? It's obviously very similar to the Quest 2. Anyway, the two main things that I think are just unbelievably good about this headset. One of them you might think is a gimmick, because honestly, I thought it was a gimmick. But I literally use it all the time. So the first one is just ease of use. It's very much plug and play. Once you've set up and installed the software, you don't really need to worry about anything. Every time you start your computer, the software starts automatically on startup by default, and then all you have to do is click the Steam VR button and it launches Steam VR straight away. You put on your headset and then you're straight into the Steam VR home area, and then once you're in there, it's literally pick a game and start playing. In the 2 months of using it, I haven't had a software issue, a software compatibility issue, a connection issue, whereas with some of the other headsets it's either Wi-Fi issues or sometimes you'll have problems with a cable. I haven't had any GPU driver issues, and this is including when I've had updates from Nvidia for the graphics card, or I've had a Windows update. It just seems to have worked. Now, I'm not saying I'll never have an issue, but I haven't experienced it, and in that same time period, I have had issues with other headsets. It might just be a matter of luck, but I've really enjoyed the ease of use experience when it comes to this headset. And the other one, and you're gonna laugh, you are, because I thought it was just a gimmick. It's this. You might think, well, with color pass-through, you don't need that. It's much better than color pass-through if you're trying to do anything when it comes to doing PC stuff. So, you know, say something goes wrong with a game, and with color pass-through, you can double tap the side of your headset and it brings you into color pass-through, and then you try and read the text on the computer or as such. It's better than black and white. So the pass-through on this is black and white. It's better than that. but it's not as good as actually seeing it. So you're halfway to doing something and you need to check something. You literally just lift up this. And I thought it was a gimmick, but I use it all the time. It's literally like one of the greatest features I think I've ever had. And I know you can buy straps on other headsets that will do that, but it's not quite the same as the way this works. I've tried it. A couple of other things that it comes with: it's got 120 Hz refresh rate as standard, not as like an experimental or a maybe. It has a field of view of 116 degrees. It connects via DisplayPort, and again, people might think that that's a downside, but honestly, I don't think it is. You can just undo these fasteners, which reminds me of a keyboard back from 1990, but who cares? It disconnects, and I can put it on my shelf, so nothing happens to it, and it's very simple, just connecting back up. And literally, I never do that. It's always connected to the PC, and it always goes down here on my little shelf, because I'm literally using it all the time for PC VR. It's such a good headset for playing PC VR, and that is it. That is why it's so, like, almost perfect. It doesn't have a lot of features, but the ones it does have outshine the rest. It's got DisplayPort, so you get really good clarity. And they're not ashamed of what they are, if that makes sense. Their speakers, they're not very good, so they supply you with your own headphones, which also use your own. It comes with clips for the lead. It literally just comes with everything that you need to get going with PC VR. It is more expensive than some of the headsets that are out there. That is hard for most people to take. I get it. There are some things that I'd like to see improvements of. The back pad, it's very nice and soft, but I feel like it could be a little bit larger and a bit more supportive around the back of your head, because sometimes if you've got it positioned slightly wrong, it does feel like it's going to slip up, just because it's so lightweight as well. I mean, the thing barely weighs anything compared to like the Quest 2, but apart from like the obvious flaws it's got, I really do love the thing. And it's hard to explain. I'm really trying like to get across why I like it so much. And you're thinking, I know you're thinking, because I thought exactly the same thing. I thought, well, what the hell am I doing with it? But what it lacks for in some features, it really shines in other ways. And the flip-up headset thing, I hope they don't remove the feature from any other headsets that they decide to produce in the future, because it's such a good feature that I can't explain to you how easy it makes my life. Now, talking about the controllers, they're very similar to, again, other headsets out there. They've got the rings. They have more of an, I'd say, an oval shape rather than a circle shape. The buttons are very good. I didn't notice it, but my son likened the joysticks to the feel and touch of like a Nintendo Switch, which I do get. They're very nice. And they are just basic controllers. They're what you would expect. And they work. And I think that's another big thing about this thing. Like, it's the ease of use. There is no trying to link it over Wi-Fi. There is nothing really that can go wrong when it comes to using it. All the software keeps up to date with Windows. Everything that seems to be running seems to just work. I've not had any issues in 2 months, whereas I have had issues driver-wise with other headsets in those 2 months. Which then again makes me just want to pick up and play this. Now, I'm not saying that it won't have driver issues at some point, or that, you know, Windows might conflict with it. I can't say that that's never going to happen, but I've not experienced it. And I think if you have something like, say, a Quest 2 and you're wanting to do PC VR and you're getting frustrated with that headset, I can understand why you might consider this. Now, I'm not saying you should go out and buy this. I'm really not. but I feel really privileged to own one. Like I say, you know, some of the features that are missing would be cool to have, but I honestly don't miss them when I put the headset on. And they do say it's like an entry model. There are more premium headsets coming later this year, but I think if you are into PC VR and you generally are into games like sim racers or flight sims or any of those sort of games where you have to, you know, take your headset off every so often to do something, you don't have to take the headset off, you just flip it up. And I really don't think people will understand the pain of that until they experience something like this. But I generally actually love it, and I can't wait to see your opinions in the comments. What do you think? Have you used it? Are you thinking of getting it? Let me know, and I'll try and answer any questions that I might have missed. In this next video, I'm going to show you how to set up the DPVR E3 software and everything to get it running, just in case you've had any issues trying to do it yourself. I can't imagine you will have done, but it's like knowing things like where to download the software and things like that. Thanks for watching, guys, and catch you in the next one. Goodbye.